Hi everybody, welcome to the last lesson of the year. Can you believe it? Today's the last day of school for you, at least for science. For this last day of school, I thought I'd bring in a special guest star. I've got here Moose the puppy. Yes, I love you too, Moose. And he's going to help me with an experiment that normally we would have done earlier in the year, maybe a few weeks ago, but we just kind of ran out of time because of the time frame and everything. Now, for this lab, we need some water right here. Moose, confirm it's water, Moose. There we go. Okay, so we have some water going on here. Just don't tell Mom that you're drinking out of her cup. That'd be bad. But anyway, we're gonna have some water and we want to talk about pressure, right? So for this, I've got the same setup that I normally have in school, but it's just not quite as professionally set up. I've got a chair instead of a stand and, well, a picnic table and stuff like that. And then Moose is here to kind of supervise for me and everything. You're gonna drink all the water. We won't have enough water for the experiment, Moose. Okay, well, he likes the water. Okay, so he's a good drinker here. So to get this experiment working, what we're going to do is we're going to do the experiment called the Heroes Fountain. Right, so this is an experiment. It's done worldwide. It's a great example of pressure. So all that I have is I have 3 soda bottles, right? So there's, let's see, it's A, B, and then C is the one that's going to be down here and everything. They're all connected with tubes, right? And so it's important to understand all the tubes are airtight except for A right here. The top of the 2-liter soda bottle has been cut off and there's a little plastic tube that kind of sticks up in a little bit and everything. But all the tubes are connected. So this little plastic tube, it runs in this line, goes all the way down to B, right? And then it's connected to this little stick that goes down into the water. And B is pretty much all full of water, right? Then there's another tube coming out of B, right? That one is in the air up here, and it runs all the way down to this guy right here into C, right? And then from C, you can see there's a stick, right? So this tube coming from B, it goes down in here into the air. This tube right here goes under the water, and it connects up to this tube, again, airtight, all the way up to this tube, and then it goes into, you know, the top of A up here, where there's just like basically a hole in the bottom of it and everything. And so what we want to do is we want to see what happens when you add pressure to this system. So the first thing that we can do is I'll take a canister C down here, or water bottle C, and we'll put it down on the ground. I'll take, well, my wife's water cup, don't tell her about Moose, and I'll pour some water in the container right here. Well, there we go. We're watering the flowers at the same time. Okay, so we put some water in there, and then it takes a little bit of time for the pressure to kind of get going here and everything. Sometimes it works on the first try, sometimes not. But what we're looking for is for some of the water to flow out of here, flow all the way down into C down here, and then that's going to pump water from C all the way up into here. And it's slowly working. Just wait for it. You've got to be patient sometimes for science. I can see the water. It's probably hard for you to see, but it's coming up right here. It's coming up a little bit higher. This water right here is going down. I can see the water coming up the little stick, and it's starting to work. Moose is impatient down here. It's starting to work, and there we go. We have the fountain. Oh, maybe you saw some of the water squirt out right there. And so now the water's squirting up, right? And I'll zoom in just a second so you can see it a little bit better, because it's probably hard for you to see over there. But what's happening is water's squirting out the little stick right here, right? So that's filling up this reservoir right here. That water, like I said before, it's flowing down through this tube, all the way down to C, the container C down below. Then that's forcing air from C all the way up in here. That's coming into this one. And so in canister B right here, it's filling up with air, right? Because air is being pushed up from canister C down below. So B is filling up with air, but that means the water that's in here has got to go somewhere, right? Because pressure's pushing on it. So this tube right here, it's being pushed up the little tube, up this little tube right here, all the way back up here, and then the water, that's what's squirting out up top, right? So let me grab the camera for you here, and I'll try to show you what's happening. Sorry, this isn't a very professional video today, but it is what it is because of what's happening for us. So here you go. Here's Moose. Hi, Moose. Are you looking really cute? Yes, he says hello to you all. Oh, don't chew on the microphone. That's bad. Okay, good job, Moose. Okay, so over here, let's see. Here's where the water is squirting out. The little fountain right there. And then you can see the tube kind of running down. Right, and this is where you have canister B right here. For canister B, air is coming up from one of these tubes right here. Air is filling up, so it's filling up with more and more air, but that means the water is being pushed out through this tube and going up to A, squirting out over there. And then canister B down here, hi Moose. Canister B, that's the one it's filling up with air, and the water is being squirted out. Moose, don't eat the experiment. Moose, no eating the experiment. Okay, good boy, good boy. All right, and that's filling up. So this will continue happening, all right? This experiment will keep going. Water will keep squirting out over and over and over. There we are, there's a good shot of it squirting out. It'll keep going, but it doesn't keep going forever, right? It'll stop, the experiment essentially will stop when the water runs out of this container right here in container B. Right, so as soon as the water gets below, you know, that little stick that's in there, right, basically air will rush in, and then the Heroes Fountain will no longer work anymore. Right, so that's a great example of pressure right there. Right, it's all dependent on pressure. It won't work at all if canister B or canister C gets a hole in it. So if Moose decides he gets really hungry, he starts chewing on one of the air lines or on one of the 2-liter bottles, and air gets in, then the whole system stops from that happening and everything. But gravity is the force that's causing this to happen, right? It also won't work if I take canister C way down there and I put it up on top of the picnic table, or I take B and put it down where Moose is hanging out here, then it's gonna stop working, right? Then all of a sudden, you know, the whole thing won't work because gravity's not pushing it the right direction anymore. All right, well, hopefully this worked, and hopefully you enjoyed all the crazy lessons. Sorry we didn't get to do quite as many experiments in class as normally, but at the same time, hopefully you had a little bit of fun sleeping in and relaxing and everything like that. Hey, Moose, what's wrong? You miss Mom, don't you? Okay, have a great summer, and maybe I'll see you again next year.